Clemson head women's basketball coach Shawn Poppie, Mia Moore, and Hadley Periman are available for questions. Coach, if you want to start with an opening statement.
Yeah, good to get back in the win column. We talked about sour taste in our mouth following the Columbia game down in Columbia on Tuesday. The best thing of our sport is you don't get a chance to sulk too much. You're right back out here 2 days later. I wasn't a huge fan when we put this on the schedule. This was the last game we had scheduled. But it turned out to be the best thing for us to get back in the win column, work on some things, get some confidence as we head into a really, really big one on Sunday against Louisville. So proud of the kids. Good to get back here. We had a lot of good things that happened, but a lot of things we can continue to clean up. So ultimately proud of them, and now it's back to work.
Shawn, you made some adjustments to starting lineup, adding Russ and Hadley in there. Just what led to that decision, and what was your assessment of how they were able to mesh with that group?
Yeah, well, we just haven't got off to great starts. The thing about this roster is we got 9, 10, 11, dang near the same problem Brad's got, right? Where it's a good problem to have. You're trying to figure out what group meshes well together, who can bring energy, and get us off to a good start. So we had not gotten in great starts, the close scrimmages, the first handful of games. So we're just trying to change it up a little bit. I thought that the 5 we put out there have been probably our 5 hardest workers. Hadley's been phenomenal here these first 4 games of just giving us effort and all over the place as she's playing multiple positions. Mia is the same Mia. It's nice to see her play with confidence again tonight. But that was the reason. But it's also just trying to figure out what works for this group. Is ultimately it's going to be a bunch of different lineups because we have a bunch of good players.
Coach, can you talk about how tonight's game did a good job preparing y'all for Louisville on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, it's just discipline overall. And I say discipline, it's just been a word of just do your job. Not to get into too much detail, but in Columbia on Tuesday, we executed our game plan. I mean, everyone did their job defensively. 23 possessions. I think that's what the number was. And them 23 that we did our job, they scored in 2. Right? The 28 we did not execute our job, they scored, I think, on 18. So my point being is like we're going to put a game plan together to put them in position to be successful, and that's us doing this thing together. And when we get disciplined enough to do that, this team's going to be really, really good. And so it gave us another opportunity to come out and just work on being disciplined. Do your job. Do your job. I thought we went through a stretch there, middle of the first on and through some of that second quarter that we lost our discipline. And this team needs discipline, and they will get it. It's early. We got 9 new ones. We're mixing and matching lineups, but that gave us that opportunity. And then we had success doing it as the game went on. And I think you can build off that as we head into. We are going to have to execute a game plan come Sunday.
Had's first career start for you as a Tiger tonight. Can you just talk a little bit about the emotions, what it was like to hear your name over the PA, and kind of make your official entrance as a Tiger?
Yeah, I mean, getting to start was great, but I think overall I'm still going to do the same thing if I'm coming off the bench, if I'm starting. Just bringing what I bring to the table, just working as hard as I can, effort, just bringing the same thing no matter what position I'm at. So,
The second double-double of the season for you today. How early in your career, even dating back to your youth, did you realize you had a knack for rebounding even at the guard spot?
Well, I ran track when I was younger. I did long jump, high jump, so I've always loved to just jump. I feel like I can fly. So I just love getting rebounds and just trying to do whatever I can so my team can win.
Coach, in terms of the shot selection tonight, just what's your assessment? Were you pleased with a majority of what was going out there?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to shoot a lot of threes. We got to continue to find balance. Whether that be off the bounce, throwing it in, in games like this, they really swarm. So we got to get our bigs to be a little bit quicker in their movements. But I mean, they're swarming, right? Like they're going to give us, a lot of threes. Is there a couple in there probably questionable? Yeah. Mine's more just our tempo, right? And then ultimately the other piece is back to discipline, right? Like we get in our action and it's like it's predetermined. And so right and wrong. So if you don't do your job, then we all kind of start to get out of whack. I thought that we went through some spurts where that happened, but the shot selection was fine as the game went on. It's just more so do your job, right? So that we can have a good tempo. We get a good tempo, get that thing in and out. we're going to shoot a lot of threes. I think this percentage is a lot closer to what we'll be compared to what we did a couple days ago.
Mia, speaking of threes, 2 for you in the first quarter. How did that kind of help you settle in and help this group settle in early?
It just gave me a little confidence to just keep shooting the ball. They zoned us pretty well, so we just have to get the ball moving, just be confident in our shot, and just do what we've been practicing.
As you knocked down a pair of threes as well, was that something that you planned coming into this game with the scout against American, or really just taking them within the flow of the offense?
I think just within the flow and just having that confidence that to knock it down when I'm open. I mean, we work on these shots every day. We have workouts every single day outside of practice, and I work on the shots every day. I hit them every day. So just being prepared to knock them down when it comes to it in the game.
Coach, it seemed like in the first half you went through your entire bench trying to find an answer to their backdoor cuts, found it in Amaya. Can you just talk about what you saw from American with that, and then also what you found in her?
Yeah, it's me trying to figure out what can, that's the word of the day, discipline, right? Like, I don't like subbing every time you make a mistake, right? But right now we're in that phase that we have to do our job. So I was just subbing. Anytime they didn't do their job, we subbed. And it got to the point where we went through enough of them, Amaya got a turn. It was really neat to watch her come in and play with some confidence. She did her job for the most part. Same thing with Morgan Miller, who's been behind the scenes, just ultimate teammate, ultimate worker, to come in 4 minutes. And she should have got some more in the second half, but just our lineups were kind of goofy. But that's what that was, candidly. It was not necessarily what American was doing. It was us just not being disciplined. And I got to figure out what pushes the right buttons for them to become that.
Coach, gearing up towards Louisville on Saturday, 3 games obviously within a 6 or a 7 day span. How do you prepare your group mentally and physically for the challenge of a ranked team coming to Littlejohn?
Yeah, tomorrow will be a lot of mental more than it is physical. Tomorrow is a lot of scout film. We'll start with this. We'll close the door here and watch our American film. We'll get out in the court a lot of just flush the body. You're not going to pound the bodies again after what we just went through the last 72 hours. And then just right here, right? Doing a lot of watching, a lot of walking through, start to implement a plan so they can see it on both sides of the ball. We'll get a good night's rest, and we'll come back Saturday morning with the idea of playing a little bit more, trying to see the pace of how they play. They get up and pressure you 94 feet with most of their guards. So you're going to have to be ready for that. But that's kind of the plan of attack. And if you're not ready, I know it's a long week, but if you don't have enough adrenaline, enough excitement to get up for a game like that, then you probably don't need to be out there, right? I think we will be ready. There's no doubt about it, and I know we're excited for the opportunity.
And then a message to fans leading up to Sunday, the importance of having a packed out Littlejohn and home crowd to support the Tigers.
Well, my hopes are that the ones that decided not today, they're coming Sunday. We're building something special over here, and whether that be with this current team, recruiting, trying to get out in the community, playing a style that's fun, I feel like we're doing all things the right way. And I know the men have had a game, and we got football headed to Louisville, but I'm a little disappointed, candidly, with today's attendance. But my hopes are they're waiting for Sunday, and if they come in Sunday, then all forgiven. We'll do our job Sunday. But in all seriousness, we need everybody to come out, support, cheer, be loud. We felt that in Columbia on Tuesday. It makes a difference, right? And no different than Louisville at home, right? Now we bring them here. We got to do our job by packing this place, being loud, and get excited because some big things are happening over here.
Coach, when you put in a lineup in the fourth quarter that hasn't spent as many minutes on the court, then they force an 8-minute scoring or a field goal drought to close out the game. How fun is that, and how much confidence does that give you to be able to go through all your different players?
I just told them that in the locker room, right? That makes me proud that they have not had a ton of game experience. It's doing your job, although you haven't got enough reps probably in practice. It's why our scoring probably wasn't clean down the stretch because we're like, what do we run? I don't know. We got they're just crazy lineups. You're just trying to get them experience. And so I thought they fought. They continued to take advantage of the opportunities they got. And so very, very proud of them. And we talked about it in the locker room, right? They need to continue to develop because you never know when their number's going to be called, and we really, really need it.
And then for both me and Hadley, it seemed like you guys were having just as much fun on the bench as they were on the court. How fun is that to watch them get that opportunity?
Yeah, it's really fun for me just because I see the work that they put in every day in practice. So it just makes me proud that they get that opportunity to be on the court and to show the world what they can do.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, obviously they don't get as much opportunity, so when they get to go out there, like, and they do something special, like, it's really fun to see that, like what they do behind the scenes that people don't see every day. I mean, sometimes they might have to play on scout for us, so I mean, that may not be what they envision, but then when they get those opportunities, it's just really cool, and it's really fun when they get to do good things like that.
Mia, as a returner from last season, is there any extra juice playing Louisville after how the season ended last year?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm really excited for Sunday. Like Coach Poppie said, we need our fans to come out for us. Like, we need that support. It definitely makes a difference. Like, of course, teams are gonna go on runs, but it's gonna make a difference when somebody is having our back. When we need somebody to cheer for us. Like, we know that they'll be there for us. So if everybody can come out on Sunday and pack Little John, we'll really appreciate that.
All right, thank you guys for the time. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, go
Thank
Tigers.
y'all.